Efemini and his wife went to visit Obozz, his longtime friend, at his home. It had been a while since they had last seen each other, so the reunion was filled with joy and warm memories. They embraced, laughed, and caught up like old times. Obozz welcomed them warmly into his house and made them feel at home. After they had settled in, Efemini opened up about the struggles he had been facing. He spoke with a heavy heart about the hardships he had endured just to survive and provide for his family. Life had not been easy, and he was tired of the constant hustle, the endless suffering, and the feeling of always falling short. Looking to Obozz with hope in his eyes, he pleaded for help, hoping his friend could offer him a way out. Obozz listened carefully, taking in every word. After a moment of thought, he asked Efemini if he would be willing to do the kind of work he was involved in. Without hesitation, Efemini said yes. He was desperate and ready to try anything that could bring stability and a better life. "Just give me a chance," he said. Seeing his friend's resolve, Obozz decided to take Efemini to his workplace. As they arrived, he began to show Efemini what the job entailed. However, as the reality of the work began to unfold before his eyes, Efemini's confidence started to fade. What he saw left him shocked and uneasy. The nature of the job was not what he had expected. It seemed dangerous, perhaps even illegal, and far from the kind of life he wanted for himself or his family. With a nervous voice, Efemini asked, "Is there any other kind of job apart from this one?" But Obozz was clearly disappointed. He had hoped his friend would accept the offer without hesitation. He had taken a risk by even showing him this world, and Efemini's rejection felt like a letdown. The atmosphere grew tense. The two friends stood there in silence, each processing the moment differently. Efemini, with uncertainty and fear. Obozz, with frustration and a sense of betrayal. When Efemini and his wife returned home that evening, the house was quiet, but the air was heavy with unspoken tension. As they stepped inside, his wife, sensing something in his silence, asked softly, "How did it go with Obozz?" Efemini paused, his heart pounding. Images of what he had seen at Obozz's workplace flashed through his mind. The dim lights, the strange machinery, the hushed voices, and the unsettling feeling that never left him. He couldn't bring himself to tell her the truth. She wouldn't understand. Or worse, maybe she would. He forced a weak smile. "There's nothing for me there," he lied. Obozz said, "There's no vacancy at the moment. I'll try somewhere else tomorrow." His wife sighed, disappointment quietly slipping into her eyes. "All right," she said, though her voice carried the weight of growing worry. The next morning, Efemini woke early and left the house with determination etched across his face. He wandered the streets, knocking on doors, speaking with strangers, chasing whispers of job openings. Anything legal and clean. After hours of searching, he finally landed a chance. A small company was hiring, and they agreed to interview him on the spot. It was his one shot, but under pressure, Efemini faltered. His voice shook, his answers were scattered, and his mind kept drifting back to Obozz's offer, what he had rejected, and what it might have meant. When the interview ended, the manager thanked him politely, but the look in his eyes said it all. Another door closed. By the time he got home, the sun had already dipped behind the clouds, and the sky hung gray with the threat of rain. As he stepped inside, his wife greeted him not with a question, but with desperation. "The children, they're not feeling well," she said, her voice strained. "They've been coughing all day. They need to see a doctor." Efemini felt the floor shift beneath him. There was no money for food, let alone hospital bills. He hadn't even eaten that day. The weight of helplessness crushed him like a stone on his chest. "I'll figure something out," he mumbled, though even he didn't believe his own words. Without another word, he turned and walked back out of the house. Rain had started to fall, slow at first, then harder, soaking his clothes as he wandered aimlessly through the streets. Eventually, He collapsed to his knees in a quiet corner, drenched and trembling. His voice cracked as he looked up into the stormy sky. "God, where are you?" he cried. I'm trying everything, but I'm breaking. Please, help me. I don't know what else to do." The rain fell harder, but Efemini didn't move. In that moment, he wasn't just a man without a job. He was a father with sick children, a husband without answers, and a soul on the edge. He stayed there for a long time, alone under the dark sky, hoping that maybe, just maybe, something or someone was listening. That very night, Efemini went back to meet with Obozz to offer his help. He had been thinking deeply about Obozz's line of work and believed he had come up with a new approach that could significantly improve things. During their meeting, Efemini explained to Obozz that he had developed a new format or strategy for the kind of job Obozz was doing, one that, if properly applied, could bring in much more money. He laid out the details carefully, showing Obozz how the new system would work, how it would minimize risk, and how the profits could increase. Efemini made it clear, however, that he wasn't looking for a regular salary. Instead, he wanted a percentage of whatever earnings came from the work they would do together. At first, Obozz was hesitant. The idea of giving up a share of his profits didn't sit well with him. But after thinking it over for a while, and realizing the potential value Efemini was bringing to the table, he finally agreed to the terms. Later that evening, Efemini went home and shared everything with his wife. How the meeting had gone, what the job entailed, and how he had secured a position working alongside Obozz. But as he spoke, he could see the concern in her eyes. She wasn't pleased with the kind of work Efemini was getting involved in, and she made her feelings known. Still, Efemini reassured her. He told her he had thought it through and believed this opportunity could change things for the better. He promised her that everything would go according to plan, and that nothing would go wrong. Sometimes, life pushes us to the edge, where every door seems shut, every effort feels wasted, and hope begins to flicker like a candle in the wind. Efemini stood at that edge. A husband, a father, a man who was tired of trying and failing. Faced with impossible choices and unbearable pressure, he cried out, not because he was weak, but because he was still fighting. In moments like these, the easy path can look tempting. But Efemini chose to walk the harder road, one that let him keep his dignity, his values, and his hope alive. Even when rejection came, even when hunger knocked, even when it felt like no one was listening. True strength is not measured by how loud you shout, how much you earn, or how fast you win. It's in how long you can keep going when everything inside you wants to quit. It's in saying no to what may harm your soul, even when it promises quick relief. And it's in believing that your struggle has meaning, even if the breakthrough hasn't come yet. To anyone feeling like Efemini, drenched in life storms, tired and uncertain, hold on. You're not alone. Keep moving. Keep believing. Your story is not over. Sometimes the rain is not here to drown you, but to cleanse the ground for something new to grow. You are stronger than your struggle. Keep going.